Hello, Miss Stallings class. We are going to finish Deck the Halls. We're off the walls. Chapter 8. Plenty of Crazy to go around. The famous Crazy was standing right next to me, live and in person. I can't take it anymore, Crazy moaned. They're going to tear me apart. I need somewhere to hide. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I had to think fast. So I did the first thing that came to my mind. I took off my pants. Quick, I said to Crazy, let's switch clothes. They'll never know the difference. Good idea, Crazy said, taking off his pants. I tore off my itchy Christmas sweater and gave it to Crazy. He tore off his clothes and gave them to me. I put on his clothes and he put on mine. I looked pretty sharp in his hat and sunglasses. It was hilarious. Do I look like you? I asked him. Yeah, he said. Do I look like you? Yeah, I said. You chill in here for a while. I'll take care of your fans for you. I pulled the hat down low over my eyes, strolled out of the men's room, and gave a big wave to the girls. They started screaming and pulling out cameras to take my picture. Look, it's him. It's Crazy. I love you. Can I have your autograph? Those girls were totally buying it. They really thought I was crazy. Sure, you can have my autograph, I said. The girls started sticking pens and papers in my face. I wrote crazy as fast as my hand could move. One at a time, girls, I said cheerfully. One at a time. There's plenty of crazy to go around. Eek, I touched him, a little girl screamed. I'll never wash this hand again. After they got my autograph, girls were crying, fainting, freaking out all over the place. They didn't know that I was just a regular kid. They had no idea the real Crazy was hiding in the bathroom. It was cool to be a famous celebrity. It was the greatest day of my life. And you'll never believe who rolled over on a Segway at that moment. It was Officer Spence, the mall security guard. Uh-oh, the jig is up. I figured I was in big trouble. I'm sorry, Mr. Z, said Officer Spence, but it's time. Time for what? I asked. Time for you to sing. Huh? What? Me? I stammered. Nobody told me. Officer Spence grabbed my hand and pulled me up on a Segway. We rolled over to a stage that had been set up near the center of the mall. There were 4 musicians on stage wearing Santa hats. Get up there, yelled Officer Spence. I climbed up on the stage. Yo, Z, the guitar player said. You the man. The girls started screaming. I looked out at a sea of faces. Some of these fans were younger than me. Some of them were older than me. A few of them looked like my grandma. That was weird. I gave a little wave and they all started freaking out like they never saw a guy wave before. A guy in a jacket and tie climbed onto the stage and picked up the microphone. Okay, boys and girls, he said. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Here's the latest pop sensation to sing the Christmas Klepto, his new hit song, Crazy. Girls screamed even louder. The musicians started playing that annoying song. I had no choice. I had to grab the mic and start rapping. 'Twas the night before Christmas, you know the rest. Stuff was all over, the house was all messed. I was dreaming of a Christmas white. It was totally silent night. That's when I heard a crash and a boom, so I ran right down to the living room. There was this guy dressed all in black, and over his shoulder he carried a sack. I took one look at him and said, Whoa, man, you're not Frosty the Snowman. Who are you? I asked after a pause. You sure don't look like Santa Claus. He said, "The name's Klepto, I'm from the South Pole. I grab all your presents, that's how I roll. On Christmas Eve I go round the world and steal all the presents from boys and girls." You know what? The girls were digging it. You should have been there. The best part was they were screaming so loud that nobody could tell I wasn't the real crazy. So I kept rapping. He went to the corner, got down on one knee to scoop up the gifts that were under our tree. He took them all. He grabbed my new toys. He took my new clothes. He took all our joy. To the Christmas klepto, everything's free. I'll take your partridge, he said, and your pear tree. I like your presents, and now they're mine. Say, how much of this stuff did you buy online? You better watch out. You better not cry. You make one peep, I'll poke out your eye. You're a mean man, sir, I said with a hiss. Just wait till Santa finds out about this. I didn't get to finish the song because the guy in the jacket and tie hopped up on stage again and grabbed the mic away from me. Isn't Crazy fantastic, he yelled. He'll be back at 2 to sing for you some more. The girls screamed. Officer Spence grabbed my hand. I hopped on a Segway and he took me back to the men's bathroom. In the bathroom, Crazy was looking in the mirror and combing his hair. When he saw me, he turned around and gave me a big hug. You saved my life, dude, he told me. I owe you one, big time. Chapter 9, Take a Chill Pill. When I came out of the bathroom wearing my regular clothes, the gang clapped me on the back. You were awesome, AJ, said Alexia. Those girls didn't suspect a thing, said Ryan. How did you know the words to the dumb song? Asked Michael. It's been stuck in my head all week, I admitted. We hustled through the crowd to get back to Santa's workshop, all the way at the other end of the mall. It took a long time to find Andrea and Emily. They were close to the front of the line now. Where were you? Andrea asked with her mean face on. What took you so long? It's almost our turn to meet Santa, said Emily. Take a chill pill, I told him. We're here, right? I could see Santa Claus now. He was sitting on this big throne with his red suit, red hat, white beard, and black boots. The whole get-up. Santa was fat and jolly, just like I imagined. He was surrounded by Christmas trees, presents, fake snow, and a giant nutcracker on each side. Ho, 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 Santa bellowed. You know, I'm not sure that's the real Santa, said Neil the nude kid. It looks like Santa to me, said Michael. I'm so excited, said Andrea, rubbing her hands together. Soon it would be our turn. We were on pins and needles. Well, not really. We were just standing there. If we were on pins and needles, it would have hurt. I got up on my tiptoes to look all around. There were so many happy, smiling faces, Christmas trees, twinkling lights, jingle bells jingling. It was a beautiful scene. Ah, I said, I love the smell of tinsel at Christmas time. Tinsel doesn't have a smell, dumbhead, said Andrea. That's pine needles that you smell. It's your face I smell, I said. Why can't a truck full of tinsel fall on Andrea's head? Just then, one of Santa's elves came running down the line of kids. It's almost your turn to meet Santa, she said. That's when I realized the elf wasn't a real elf. It was our librarian, Miss Ropey. She was just dressed up like an elf. Miss Ropey, I said, what are you doing here? Who's Miss Ropey? Said Miss Ropey. I'm one of Santa's helpers from the North Pole. She wasn't fooling anybody. It was Miss Ropey for sure. That's when I realized that all of Santa's helpers were grown-ups from our school. The guy playing Christmas songs on the organ was our music teacher, Mr. Loring. The lady dressed up like Frosty the Snowman was our custodian, Miss Lazar. Another one of the elves was our Spanish teacher, Miss Holly. Miss Holly, I said when I saw her, what are you doing here? Earning a little extra money over the holidays, she said. We all are. Feliz Navidad. I guess teachers don't get paid very much, said Ryan. Teachers get paid? I asked. I thought they just came to school every day because they had no place else to go. There was just one family in front of us in line. A lady with the big camera came over. I did a double take. The lady was Miss Hannah, our art teacher. Merry Christmas, she said. Now listen up. When you sit on Santa's lap, I'm going to snap your picture. So let's see some big smiles. Okay, we all said. Do you want to buy the $20 package or the $40 package, Miss Hannah asked. Package of what? I said. Package of pictures, of course, said Miss Hannah. The $20 package includes one 8x10 in a nice frame. The $40 package includes two framed 8x10s and 10 wallet-sized pictures. I suggest you buy the $40 package so you can share your pictures with your grandparents, your aunts, and your uncles. What a scam. I don't want to buy any package, I told Miss Hannah. Yeah, said Alexia. We just want to meet Santa. Fine, said Miss Hannah, but she said it in a way that meant not fine. Only grown-ups can do that. I guess that's why we go to school. So we can learn how to say things and mean the exact opposite. The family in front of us had 6 annoying kids, 3 boys and 3 girls. None of them would sit still. They were all sticking their fingers in Santa's nose, poking him in the eye, and pulling on his beard. It took like 1,100,000 hours for Miss Hannah to take a picture of each of the kids. Then she had to take a picture with just boys. Then she had to take a picture of just girls. Then she had to take a family picture. I thought I was going to die from old age. But finally, the last little whining nerd got up from Santa's lap. It was our turn. Okay, which one of you wants to go first? Asked Miss Ropey. I'm scared of Santa, said Emily, who's scared of everything. Me too, said Alexia. So am I, said Andrea, Neil, Ryan, and Michael. I had just sung that dumb rap song in front of 100 million screaming girls. I wasn't afraid of anything. I'm not scared, I said. I'll go first. This was going to be the greatest moment of my life. Chapter 10, My Turn. I stepped up on the platform where Santa was sitting and climbed on his lap. Miss Hannah told me to smile, and she snapped my picture. This is it. Everything I had ever done had been leading up to this moment. Now my life was complete. If I suddenly dropped dead, all I could say, at least I could say, I had met Santa Claus. That is, if I hadn't dropped dead. Because if you're dead, you can't talk. Ho, 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 Santa said, as he handed me candy canes and a coloring book. Phew, Santa has bad breath. Yes, little boy. Your name isn't AJ by any chance, is it? How did you know? I asked. I'm Santa, Santa said. I see you when you're sleeping, and I know when you're awake. That's creepy, I said. Do you have night vision goggles? Ha ha ha, laughed Santa. No, but I know if you've been bad or good, AJ. Be good for goodness sakes. Santa must have a GPS and state-of-the-art surveillance technology. I'm not sure, but I think that's an invasion of privacy. So, what do you want for Christmas, AJ? Santa asked me. I want the new Stryker Smith Commando, I said. It comes with a laser. It comes with a missile launcher, voice activator, attack dog, and deluxe torch. All other accessories sold separately, batteries not included. Stryker Smith, said Santa. You mean the superhero action figure from the future who travels through time and fights all who dare to thwart his destiny? Yes. Wow, Santa really knows his toys. AJ, didn't I bring you a Stryker Smith action figure 2 Christmases ago? Santa asked me. Yeah, I replied. He fell under the school bus and his head came off. And didn't I bring you another Stryker Smith action figure last Christmas? Yeah, I said, but he met his untimely end when his head got tragically melted in a battle with an evil magnifying glass. I'm sorry to hear that, Santa said. I hope you'll take better care of a Stryker Smith this year. I will, Santa. Good. Merry Christmas, AJ. Ho, ho, ho. I looked out at the kids waiting in line. I wonder how Santa would remember which presents we all asked for. Are you going to write it down that I asked for a Stryker Smith action figure? I asked Santa. That won't be necessary, he replied. How will you remember? My mind is like a steel trap, he told me. You catch animals in your head? No, I mean I have a good memory, Santa told me. That's how I remember what I bring you each year. Some of the parents in the crowd were looking at their watches. I guess my time was up. But this might be the only chance in my whole life I will get to talk with Santa. I didn't want to leave. Can I ask you one question, Santa? Sure, AJ. I understand how reindeers can fly, I said, but doesn't your sleigh need a wing on each side for stability? The Christmas spirit lifts us up, Santa said. Yeah, but the sleigh doesn't look very aerodynamic, I told him. Why don't you use a helicopter instead? I thought you had just one question, Santa said. How is it possible to visit every house in the world in one night, I asked. What about houses that don't have chimneys? What about people who live in apartments? How do you fit all the toys in your sleigh? And what do you do the rest of the year? We'll have to wrap this up, AJ, said Santa. There's a lot of children waiting. You should really lose some weight, I told him. Obesity is a big problem these days. Have you checked your cholesterol? Isn't it cold in the North Pole? Is there a supermarket up there? Where do you buy your groceries? Have you considered relocating to a warmer climate? Do the reindeer ever poop on people's heads? Time's up, kid, one of the parents yelled. Let's move it along. I got up from Santa's lap, but as I was doing that, my itchy Christmas sweater must have got caught on Santa, because that's when the strangest thing in the history of the world happened. His beard came off. Chapter 11. The Kid Who Ruined Christmas. Everyone gasped. Hey, I said, you're not the real Santa. You're just some guy dressed up like Santa. Santa mumbled. The fake Santa guy looked really familiar to me. I knew I had seen him somewhere before. So I picked up his Santa hat off his head, and you'll never believe in 1,100,000 years what was underneath. Nothing. The guy was completely bald, just like Mr. Klutz, the principal of our school. In fact, the fake Santa guy was Mr. Klutz. Mr. Klutz, I shouted, what are you doing here? Earning a little a little extra money over the holidays, he replied. I knew I was in trouble as soon as people saw Santa wasn't the real Santa, but I had no idea how much trouble I was in. Eek, some girls shouted. Santa has no hair. He's a fake, yelled a boy. Mommy, screamed another girl. You told me that man was the real Santa Claus. You lied. All the little kids in line started yelling, screaming, crying, and freaking out. Their parents were upset too. We've been waiting in line for an hour, a lady shouted, and now this? It's that kid's fault, one dad yelled, pointing his finger at me. He ruined Christmas for my son. He ruined Christmas for everybody. I thought I was going to die. Mr. Klutz looked scared. He got up quickly and put a sign on the seat that said, Santa has gone to feed his reindeer. He'll be back soon. I better get out of here, he told me. AJ, what do you have to say for yourself? I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I had to think fast. Peace on earth, goodwill to men, I said. Get him, somebody shouted. Get that kid who ruined Christmas. Bummer in the winter. There was only one thing I could do. Run. Chapter 12, The True Meaning of Christmas. This was the worst thing that happened since TV turnoff week. I wanted to go to Antarctica and live with the penguins. I jumped off the little platform to make a run for it, but I slipped on some fake snow and knocked over the Christmas tree. It landed on top of me. As I scrambled to get up, my foot got tangled in a string of Christmas lights. When I yanked it, sparks started to fly. That must have spooked the reindeer in the petting zoo because one of them broke out of the gate and started running around in crazy circles. Run for your life, shouted Neil, the nude kid. The reindeer is on the loose. Watch out for those antlers, a lady screamed. It's heading for the food court, somebody shouted. I finally got to my feet, and a bunch of angry parents started chasing me. Get him, one of the dads shouted. Get that kid. I bolted out of there. Crowds of people were all over the place. I had to run around them like a football player trying to escape the angry parents chasing me. I bumped into some lady, and she fell in a fountain. Help, I shouted. They're going to kill me. I ran up the down escalator, then down the up escalator, but I didn't travel through time. The parents were still chasing me. I couldn't lose them. At the other end of the mall, I spotted the men's bathroom. Maybe I could hide in a stall, I figured. It was my only hope. I ran over there and ducked inside the bathroom. I was panting and gasping for breath. You'll never believe who was in there combing his hair in the mirror. Crazy. Dude, he said, what's the matter? You look like you've been through a war. I put my hand on his shoulder and looked him in the eye. You gotta help me, I begged. I was sitting on Santa's lap and I accidentally pulled off his beard. The kids who were waiting in line freaked out, and now their parents are trying to get me. What should I do? Quick, Crazy, he said. Let's switch clothes again. Huh? Just do it. I tore off my itchy Christmas sweater and gave it to Crazy. He tore off his clothes and gave them to me. Now get out of here, Crazy, he said, and act casual. I whistled as I strolled out of the bathroom, because if you whistle, nobody thinks you did anything wrong. It's the first rule of being a kid. A bunch of angry parents were milling around, looking all over. None of them noticed me. I thought I was in the clear. But that's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. An announcement came over the public address system. Well, that's not the amazing part, because announcements come over the public address system all the time. The amazing part was what happened next. Attention shoppers, it's 2 o'clock. Your pop sensation Crazy is about to do some more Christmas wrapping on the main stage near the big tree. Come see him perform. Suddenly, Officer Spence came rolling over to me on a Segway. "We've been looking all over for you, Mr. Z," he said. "Come on. Everybody's waiting." "Huh? What? Who? Me? Again?" I asked. Officer Spence pulled me on the Segway and strolled over to the stage. "Yo, Z," said the guitar player. "Let's rock, man." There must have been 1,100,000 girls in the audience, some of them trying to climb up on stage, but the police were holding them back. The guy in the jacket and tie climbed up and took the microphone. "Okay, boys and girls," he said, "here he is again, the latest, the greatest, Crazy." The girls started screaming. The band started playing. I had no choice, so I started rapping. "'Twas the night before Christmas, you know the rest. Stuff was all over, the house was all messed. I was dreaming of a Christmas white. It was totally silent night." That's when I heard a crash and a boom, so I ran right down to the living room. There was this guy dressed all in black, and over his shoulder he carried a sack. I took one look at him and said, "Whoa, man, you're not Frosty the Snowman." "Who are you?" I asked after a pause. "You sure don't look like Santa Claus." He said, "The name's Klepto. I come from the South Pole. I grab all your presents. That's how I roll. On Christmas Eve, I go round the world and steal all the presents from the boys and girls." He went to the corner, got down on one knee to scoop up the gifts that were under our tree. He took them all. He grabbed my new toys. He took my new clothes. He took all of our joy. To the Christmas Klepto, everything is free. I'll take your partridge and your pear tree. I like your presents, and now they're mine. Say, how much of this stuff did you buy online? You better watch out. You better not cry. You make one peep, and I'll poke out your eye. You're a mean man, sir, I said with a hiss. Wait until Santa finds out about this. That Mr. Klepto thought he was a smarty, but in the end, we spoiled his party. Oh, sure, the guy had lots of charm, until he tripped our silent alarm. A few minutes later, the cops arrived. Mr. Klepto, under the couch he dived. The cops yelled, "Come out with your hands in the air." "I was framed, he shouted. "This isn't fair." The cops said, "Now don't try anything violent. All you have is the right to remain silent." They dragged him away, and he said, "Bye-bye." And that's the last I heard of that guy. Now, all the stuff that I've been rapping, you may say that none of it happened. After all, nobody came and stole your stuff. Nobody broke in. Nobody got rough. Well, the reason that you got nothing to fear is because they put Klepto away for 10 years. So you may believe what you want to believe, but that's what happened on Christmas Eve. "Let's hear it for Crazy," the guy in the jacket and tie said. The girls went nuts, screaming, yelling, freaking out. I jumped off the stage and ran back to the men's room. Crazy was there waiting for me. "You saved my life," I said. "Now we're even, dude." Crazy and I switched back into our normal clothes, shook hands, and said goodbye. That's when I thought, as I was about to walk away, I came up with the greatest idea in the history of the world. "Hey, Crazy, I need to get a Christmas present for my sister. Can you give me an autograph?" "Sure, dude," he said. Crazy took off his hat. He pulled a Sharpie from his pocket and signed the hat and handed it to me. "You know," he said, "sometimes I wish I was in your shoes." "Why?" I asked. "What's wrong with your shoes?" "No," he said, "what I mean is the grass is always greener on the other side." "Huh?" I asked. "What does the color of grass have to do with anything? That crazy kid is weird. Who cares about shoes and grass?" As I walked away, I started thinking about what Crazy said. Christmas isn't all about malls, elves, trees, and presents. It's about being a good person. It's about helping a guy out when he's in trouble. Crazy needed my help, so I helped him. Then I needed his help, and he helped me. Christmas is a time for giving. That's the true meaning of Christmas. Who knows? Maybe I'll become Crazy's stunt double. Maybe Santa will bring me the new Stryker Smith Commando. Maybe another song will get stuck in my head. Maybe the real Santa Claus will come to the mall next Christmas. Maybe they'll pay the teachers more money so they don't have to dress up like elves. Maybe I'll travel back in time on an escalator. Maybe Santa will get some breath mints. Maybe I won't have to wear my itchy Christmas sweater next year. Maybe Santa will be arrested for invading people's privacy. Or maybe Mr. Claus will catch animals in his head. Maybe Santa will ditch his sleigh and switch to a helicopter. Maybe Andrea and Emily will bring peace and harmony to kids all over the world. But it won't be easy. The end. This was your last library day for 2020. I want you all to have a wonderful holiday and a wonderful winter break. And we will get to see each other again when we get back from winter break. Bye.